All right, guys, today is Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. Today marks 14 days I have left to finish the 55 for Starbird show. So there's a lot of snow on the ground outside, very, very cold. So I have been doing upholstery work. Anyway, so I basically cut out the package tray. I made it out of poster board first, which is actually on top of the car here. Anyway, I transferred it to wood, cut it out, sanded the edges and everything, and then I put some 1/4 inch foam on here. Now I'm going to go through with my sanders here, and I'm just going to kind of 45 degree the edge a little bit, the foam and everything, so I don't have any wrinkly edges. But anyway, at that point, I'm going to cut out for the 6x9s and 45 degree those edges, and then I'm going to wrap it in black Alante, and then I've got these screens here. These are metal screens. This was like a paper organizer or a letter organizer that would go on your desk. I can't really remember how they went. It was something kind of like this, and I think there was 4 of them. And I can't remember. I think I got that at Walmart or Office Depot or something. Very inexpensive, but it's metal. And it's just basically a screen wire mesh, but another piece of that is what I use to cut out for my speaker pods in the dash. So this is screen mesh here, and it's the exact from the same piece. So anyway, to make that match, I'm first gonna remove this binding off this, and then I'm just gonna staple this to the bottom of the 6x9 cutout, so it'll have a screen mesh screen underneath. But I am going to paint this gloss black because that is what that is. So, time to get started. Alright, so 45, well, not really 45 in it, I guess, but just basically radius on that edge around there. That way when it's wrapped in the vinyl, it just has a smoother kind of transition instead of being like normally when I cut foam out, it has some areas that are kind of choppy looking. So when you try to wrap that, you'll have a little hump in it. Now, I am not a professional upholsterer. I am not. I do have quite a few books in there I've read, and of course watched videos over the years, but still doesn't make me a professional. Not by a long shot. Anyway, that is what we're going for. Okay. I will show you the glue I'm using. This is pretty much just for the at-home DIYers. I know professionals don't use spray glue. They use the actual spray gun with the real glue. But if you've ever priced a bucket of that glue, you'd be blown away. I get this at Lowe's. This is high strength 90 contact adhesive. This is like, it's under 20 bucks for a can of it. Do be pretty liberal with this. Don't just spray a little bit of it and then stick it. And I know a lot of guys know this, but some of my viewers that are amateurs like me, so I try to throw in tips when I can. So if you've ever noticed spray glue and then contact adhesive, this is contact adhesive. Now that means when you go to upholster something, like put this foam on your backboard, you want to spray the board and you want to spray the backside of that foam, and then you let it tack up for a minute or two, maybe a little longer. I've actually never read on this what the time is you're supposed to wait, but the writing's so small you'll be able to read it anyway. Anyway, that's why it's called contact adhesive, because when you spray both pieces and then when you put them together, they come in contact with each other. So keep that in mind. Don't just spray one side or your stuff will come undone later. Now, I will say there is definitely, I don't know for sure, there is something to do with the number. And like at, say, Walmart, they have a can of spray glue in the, the hardware aisle. I think it's 77, Super 77 or something like that. I can tell you for sure, some of the upholstery I did with that back in the 90s, in a good 100-degree temperature summer, when the inside of the car got nice and toasty, it all let go. So I've had pretty good luck with this stuff. It works pretty good. And again, probably not going to last as long as the actual glue that you can buy in an upholstery supply. So, or online, I guess, at an upholstery supply. But anyway, I am ready to go ahead and wrap this. I can tell you another thing I learned from a mistake. Like when I very first, I think it was a pair of door panels I tried to do on a Monte Carlo. This would have been probably 1991. Anyway, I had an 82 Monte Carlo that was lowered, but I upholstered my upper door panels and I spray glued the new foam onto the original, the door panel itself, which is cardboard with a metal curved top on it. I put new foam on it and I spray glued the foam to the board, and then I went through and I spray glued the top of the foam and the back side of the material, and then I put it on, and it looked good for about a week. And then after a while, I noticed when the sun was on the panel, you couldn't really notice it that well in the shade, but when the sun was on it, it looked like cellulite, cottage cheese, a bag of nickels, whatever you want to call it. So since then, I have never, like my door panels, package trays, I don't spray glue any of the material to the top of this. It just sets on it. I just spray glue the back edge of the material and where I'm peeling it over. So again, not a professional. I'm just running you through stuff I learned, and I've watched my mom do stuff through the years and, seen videos. And I've got probably 7 or 8 upholstery books in there. Even have some old DVDs, but it's one of them deals where I do more mechanical work on cars and bodywork and paint than I do upholstery. So some of the stuff I have seen, I forget. So then when I get started, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do this. But anyway, I am going to go ahead. I will spray glue this because this is a package tray, and it just sets basically right there facing the sun. The sun is going to be on that a lot, so this is going to get hot. Now this is going to be black vinyl on here, so that black vinyl is going to get hot. So I'm also going to staple the material on here. So I'm going to spray glue it first, pull it and stretch it to where it's stuck, and then I'm going to go through and staple it all the way around underneath. But anyway, I'm going to paint these blacks so they do match the dash ones. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Now I thought about using 10 snips, but I'm afraid it might stretch or pull this because my 10 snips are probably 40 years old. They're still pretty sharp, but anyway, so what I think I'm going to use is just my cutoff wheel and my grinder and just go through there and just cut that off. And I'm just going to leave it a square and just staple it to the bottom of it. So it'll look kind of cool, I think. And it matches the dash. So, all right, so I've had my black Alante over here on the clip to my underneath side of my deck lid, which is in front of the heater. Ooh, it's warm too. So this is the remnant that Ciadella sent me from when they did my seat covers and armrests and stuff. And then I ended up buying from my local supply, upholstery supply, several years ago. I think I got 2 yards or 3 yards, I don't remember, of more of the black Alante. So Alante is what it's called. I don't know if it's the brand or what it is, but Alante is supposed to be a very close leather simulant. It is a vinyl, it's not real leather, but it stretches real easy and it has that soft grain to it, to where it just kind of looks like leather, but it's real soft to the touch. Like, it's amazing. Like, usually vinyl is kind of hard and plasticky feeling. This is really super soft. I've had seats done in it before. I love this stuff, but anyway, that's what I went with this time because I couldn't afford leather. Anyway, I'm hoping this fits on there. That ain't looking good. Get it off at an angle, maybe. Things are looking up. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. I don't want to cut into that new yardage I got on the roll because I'm going to need it for the door panels and the rear side panels and kick panels and the trunk panels, and so I'm going to need a lot. That is cool. All right. Here we go. I'm giving myself, I don't know, like 1.5 inches or something out past the panel, so I have plenty to grab hold of with my fingers to pull it around there. All right, I'm going to get to cutting out some slices here. This one might have just a little shot in it. Okay, this one's done. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but normally if you spray glue it, you don't really need to staple it. But in this case, this vinyl is black. It's going to be on the package tray straight up to the sun. I'm afraid enough heat back there on that black vinyl will, maybe cause the glue to come loose. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it all first. Then I'll go in and put some staples around it. And just added security, so I don't have to redo something later. I know there's professional upholsterers watching this video right now and they're just cringing. 45 them edges, and it just kind of flows in. It looks kind of nice. Looks like the sun, doesn't it? Or eyelashes, I guess, and an eyeball in the middle. I think it looks pretty cool. Alright, the GoPro battery died. So this is called speaker grill cloth. And I've got lots of different colors here. But anyway, I have black. So I'm going to staple this underneath the grill. And that way you can't see down in there and see them speakers. Those speakers are they're polypropylene or whatever you call that, plastic basically, and they're shiny, but they're three-way speakers, so they have a little tiny tweeter and a bigger tweeter in the middle, but they have silver rings around them and you can see it, and I don't want silver rings showing up in there, you know, in a shiny speaker, so I'm going to go ahead and staple some grill cloth on the back of that as well. So, should look pretty cool, I hope. I've got all kinds of upholstery remnants here. I've got a spare bedroom that the closet's full, and underneath the bed is packed full of stuff. Just all kinds of stuff from years of doing little stuff like this. I got all kinds of grill cloth in there. I got maroon, I got light red, I've got light blue, dark blue. I think I got gray too. Make sure I have the right side there. Well, it's hard to tell. I think it's that side though. Try to spray with that first, maybe. Man, that's going to be tough because I don't want to get it in my... Make me a template here so I don't get overspray on it. I guess that kind of works. Kind of. I'm hoping it, because I don't want to spray that too. I want to, hopefully that'll be enough just to kind of hold it in place, and I can stretch it a little bit, just enough to hold it to where I can staple it. Hopefully. In theory, we'll say. I gave you an up close shot of that speaker grill cloth. I know some of you guys know what speaker grill cloth is, but I used to have a, well, it's probably still there. There's a place in Tulsa, it's a professional car audio installation place, and I used to go up there and I could get remnants really, really cheap of carpet, grill cloth, and just all kinds of stuff. I used to go up there all the time to get stuff, and I used to talk to those guys a little bit, and they'd take me in the back and show me some of the stuff, and that's where I picked up a little bit of stuff, is from going to there, and you know, also books and that type of stuff. But I'm sure hoping that camouflages that, but I don't know, you can kind of see through that. I thought it, well, it might be darker when I lay it in there. Let's do a test. This is where it'd be nice if I had somebody to follow me around with a camera. That worked. You can't see it down there. Of course, it's dark in here. You may be able to see it in the sun. I don't know, but at least it's camouflaged enough, I think. Okay. Let's carry on. Sure are burning up the staples. Man, I tell you what, that's tedious work. Looks pretty good. Ah, don't tell me that's a little dent in my grill. Dang it. Are you kidding me? That was easy. I worked that dent out of there. Thank goodness. Alright guys, I got one more to go. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off because this video is going to be 2 hours and 47 minutes. Alright guys, I had to wash the window here with Windex and a rag just so you could see in here from having all the dust all over it like the car does. But that is it installed. Still kind of hard to see. You can see everything on the ceiling. Go do a shot in here. I'm pretty happy with that, man. That'll work. It's not perfect, but that's good enough for me. Well, I don't know how long that took me to make that. That was a little excessive, but I get to spend more time on other stuff. I could see how this would probably take 2 weeks to do the upholstery at this point.